Pull! That's a miss. Next!
Sharing what you create is terrifying. Even though at first, there's little to no risk of putting your craft out in the world. You just need to do things for fun and for people who understand you. But when you get bigger, it goes a little bit more complicated.
You got signed to Fuel by Rum.
The good thing when you create a masterpiece is you've created a masterpiece. The bad thing is every work that you create afterwards will be compared with it. The floor of expectations will be raised and the bar is set higher. Success in music can be defined by multiple things. It could be by sales, streams, awards, reception by your audience, and reception by critics, or a mix of those criteria. Sadly, for 21 Pilots, their sixth album release, Scaled and Icy, seems not to excel in none of that, at least compared to the peaks of their older works. It didn't have the biggest sales, not the most streams, it didn't sit well to some critics, and worse, even their fans, the Skeleton Clique, have mixed feelings about it. To me, the greatest 21 Pilots album by far is Trench. From the music production to the theme and execution, the album just feels really well made. The cohesiveness of the album from start to finish just gives such an amazing listening experience. When the band released Scaled and Icy in 2021, the album received mixed reactions from the fans. Some are defending it and some are making fun of it, saying it was supposed to be bad and it was propaganda. Which it was, but I think it was supposed to be different. And for 21 Pilots, experimenting on their sound isn't new. But this time, it's to the extremes. From their merch to their looks, it feels more of a K-pop group than top, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I really enjoyed Scaled and Icy, even better than Blurface with the livestream experience, to be honest. But I see why it receives mixed reactions from the fans. Besides it following their magnum opus, Trench, it drastically have a different sound, which feels off, as intended by the band, as the album is part of a storyline wherein at the time of the release of the album, the band is under control of their enemy, the bishops that run Dima. But to some, this did not matter, as they just want the same sound from the band. They just want the dark tones and the screams. Despite the band creating this album during the pandemic, for the fans to have something to listen to, some did not seem to appreciate it because of the different sound. Music is in fact subjective, so in this case, maybe the intentions and the gesture don't really mean much. Which is tough to stomach for an artist who gave their all for their craft, despite the circumstances of creating an album away from each other due to the pandemic. But everyone is subjected to their own opinion. Now that the Craving and Clancy is released, it seems like more appreciates Scaled and Icy for what it is. Not everything needs to be as well crafted as Trench, and not every album will have the same success of Blurface. Scaled and Icy brings a more brighter and saturated sound that was probably needed at the time of the release. When everyone is stuck at home, being constrained in the walls of their houses, it brought a little color to the world's darker times. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was not an in-depth analysis of the Craving, but if you want that, you can watch these videos from other creators that tackles that topic. Again, this has been Mamayani, asking you to be heroic in your own way.